Ladies and gentlemen, Stonebwoy has responded to Shatta Wale. You can say indirect or direct, but every response is response. So, in fact, Stonebwoy used English, grammar, and brofo to confuse, those thinking that he's lyrically weak and that he can't respond to Shatta Wale. Say after Stonebwoy released his Silent Samurai, Shatta has dropped series of these songs. In fact, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, and still counting. Olashi Stonebwoy. But many people think Stonebwoy is lyrically weak and that he can't respond to Shatta. Well, he spoke on why he cannot be deviated. So first of all, Stonebwoy appeared at the Africa Prosperity Dialogue, or the Nigerian Ebaye. So he spoke on many things, but most importantly, trolls on X. Sending Crawford on X, formerly Twitter. Editing Crawford at them, including himself, disrespecting Crawford, a unknown Stonebwoy Apache, a certain man or a broke man, it may be a kind of wife and kids. Well, Stonebwoy touched on that first. What did he say? Adolfo, Muma Yenkotie, the Stonebwoy, during that moment.
And I'm in Ghana. The person in Ghana say, all of us should have a nationalistic mentality. Let us be patriotic. I said something and said, we all go to church, we all go to mosque, we all go to Hindu. But the fundamental moral fabric is the only thing that we need to build all these things on top of. I just want to cut my story short, because why would we encourage and indirectly endorse persons of such caliber on national levels? That tells you that we are normalizing insults everywhere. So please, should we actually, you see, this has been in the 90s. I never seen a fight in parliament as a child. I'm being very, please let me speak from ignorance, if so, in Rawlins's parliament. Come and fight. There were heated arguments, but come and near your opponent and tell me and go online and go and speak anyhow. You can't. You can't insult the president. Never can you mention the president's name in your mouth. But how many times have we not seen that in this country? And same us. Rally around personalities as such. We can all make mistakes, but at this point, where you are able to carry phones and go that far, it doesn't help the nation. You can't tell me that I can turn that into positive PR. No, I've had my kids insulted for nothing. And all of those, you understand? And that's why I keep quiet. Silent samurai.
Good, thank you for that.
Because the people themselves have minds of their own. They know. Now they go pay PR to try to turn the thing around. When you know what you're doing, it costs money. It costs trying to sway mentality. Let's all be positive because we have a nation to defend.
Nice one. Please, thank you very much. All right, so this is what we're going to do.
So right after that, Stonebwoy further went on to talk about streaming, and the fact that streaming doesn't really pay in this our part of the world. I mean, Africa, the CPC and other stuffs are very, very low. So we earn less when it comes to digital streaming. Well, Stonebwoy took time to also talk about that. Now, out of Munya Abotre, baby, our response, Shatta, camp, no, we will play it for you. But these are the important things. The Stonebwoy, equally about streaming.
On the side, I think we've converted into streaming and etc. The sad part of it is that the streams really actually on this part of the world, to choose my words carefully, do not pay. And Master is a witness. I would love to actually delve into it a little bit and let the world know that, I mean, it's public knowledge, but I'll just reiterate. Spotify says you need like 250 to 333 plays to earn $1, with an average payout of 0.003 to 0.005 per stream. So you can imagine what you get out of $1 after 333 plays. All right, that's for Spotify. So Apple goes and you earn 0.06 to 0.01 per stream by playing 100 to 143 times. So if, Amazon also, you can check for the rest, 250 plays to earn $1 and the payout is 0.004. So this means that you will need like millions and millions and millions of plays to be able to make some decent amount of monies having your intellectual property on those streaming platforms. Of course, large chunk of those monies are made by the platform owners and those who own the distribution, the DSPs, basically. So, in a nutshell, you will need to do much more than having your music on streaming platforms to make income. And I'm sure that some of those would be the first key one would be the performances, brand endorsements, and appearances, and then diversifying your own income as well to be able to reinvest into oneself. These are the pointers that I think are very vital in sustaining one's income when it comes to the music itself, and then also sometimes music synchronization deals and all these ones bring in some chunk more than the streaming. So gone were those days where you would believe that making sales online was equal to actually selling that particular body of work or that single for your money. It doesn't really pay like that, especially on this part of the world, so it's rather unfortunate. Merchandising also is another part that also fetches income on the artist's career. So streaming is like you do the music for free and then you have to leverage on all the other aspects that bring you the income,
Thank you so much. I would like.
Right after that, after the summit, he was asked questions about the name change of the airport. From Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. Well, Stonebwoy spoke his mind without offending anybody, whether MPP or NDC. Stonebwoy was at the middle and spoke brofo or the brofo ekika sema to many people. Look, Stonebwoy is learned. Education is important. Now, we will now go on the main topic where he responded to Shatta Wale.
Have you heard about the name change of the airports? Somebody who doesn't only reflect in the music industry, but when it comes to national issues or things that affects us as Ghanaians, you really show interest in. Are you for the Accra International Airport or you are for Kotoka International Airport?
It used to be called Accra International Airport anyway. That's why when you're gonna fly, you see the ACC. So that has been before. So when the name goes back to Accra International Airport, for whatever reason, I would believe that the reasons are clear, the reasons are politically accurate, the reasons are very nationalistic. I would believe so. But should this change and it doesn't reflect any upliftment, then I think I wouldn't side for that. But if it's going to reflect upliftment and uplift a positive narrative about this nation, I'm for that. Yes. Kotoka, actually, we all know, Kotoka is actually from my hometown. Right, I'm from Alakple. Anybody who knows the right history knows that General Kotoka comes from Alakple, my actual hometown. And the history will tell us how he participated in the coup d'etat that would have dethroned, Kwame Nkrumah. So that is the narrative that has been tagged around him for the name change of the airport. So there's a school of thought that insists that he does not represent a good statue for the state. I think that is the reason. I don't want to dig into it too much because I don't believe that one human being can be so evil all his life. There must be some good aspects. So for the fact that he got to be named after the airport, maybe because of his good parts. You know what I'm saying? So if he has to be changed, then let it be changed for another good reason.
So this is where the problem is. This is where he responded to Shatta Wale. And this is where a lot of people are actually saying, say, look, Stonebwoy should enter into the booth. Now, credit to 1957 News. He asked Stonebwoy to break down the silent samurai. You know him? Say baby oka, a taxi mode, flight mode, Amsterdam never touch down. Wicked. So what you say over there? So Antonov 225. Some people believe to be the SM fans, according to the Beam fans. Almost in fact, the SM fans, they were trying to see Stonebwoy swallows 225. You know, street drag law. So they were insulting Stonebwoy. What is Antonov? No, Antonov's 225. Yeah, you know, some jet type of flights be. So what they are. So Stonebwoy took time to educate. Doesn't look the SM fans. One boy SM fans for Dion, but me I'm not an hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. So I would say directly, say he was referring to the SM fans after I watched the video. So Stonebwoy said, look, they should go on Google. They should research Antonov 225. You know, he used some line. Taxi mode, flight mode, they should understand before they insult. Now, Otwa so HM say, look, he is focused. 2026, he want to achieve a lot of things. So he wouldn't let anybody deviate him from where he's going. Charlie Nyafe Nobe responded to certain distraction. No. Distraction mean shatters this. So man go to the Stonebwoy.
Stone, I want to tell a short story. So when I Should Speak was coming to Ghana, I went to the airport to shoot his arrival, and then I recorded a video of the car, motorbikes that were coming, and I placed it on TikTok. Just when I was about to add music, your new song dropped. I'm like, what song is this? Upon listening for the first time, I had to use it, and the video went viral. Now, when did that song come? What's the inspiration behind that song?
I think the song was released on a Friday last week. And the inspiration is clear. When you take a dive into the lyrics, you understand that we came from somewhere with touch ground. You know, I use some aviation terms, which is open for, you know, they say Google is your best friend. So the lyrics are also prominent on there, and I encourage patrons and fans to make it a fun thing to do, to research on some of these things that we say in music. It gets to have you understand the music some more. So Silent Samurai is actually to me like a poetic standpoint of where I am right now, where I believe that there's power in silence. Like they say, silence is golden, because when you are focusing, right, and you are working and you are pushing a certain objective, there's a need for you to keep quiet. You can't talk whilst you're eating at the same time. You can choke. So you have to focus. So that's what it's all about, and it's very inspirational to the youth to keep pushing, you know. And what I'm saying, kill them, Silent Samurai. We're actually killing all distractions. We're killing all negativity. We're killing anything that's gonna set us back, and fully focus in delivering what we trust that we have as a passion, as a gift. You know, that's the moral behind the whole song. So when you
Awesome. Talking about, you know, you spoke on the Africa Perspective Network. I posted a video about you talking about how we should be nationalistic in our thinking as young people. Yes. And the video seems to be getting some traction. Yeah. Now, as a creative, as somebody who is big, I once heard you talk about the fact that you don't usually go on Twitter because it's a high street and they troll a lot. How do you do with trolls as a creative?
Oh, I am one who is very confident that I'm not scared, neither am I afraid of trolls. I mean, I made that statement because that is the reality. People tend to use Twitter as a garbage dump, where they come to express all their, you know, they just express their stupidity. You know, I beg to use that word, because I have studied to understand that what some people will do on Instagram, they wouldn't do on Twitter. Twitter is just like, once you come over there, or X, you have to find within the shortest possible time to make sense. That notwithstanding, I am also of the school of thought that that is the popular behavior on Twitter, and all of us can, tell. It's either somebody's trolling somebody or there's a heated argument or something. Believe you me, I do not trust that being intentional about trolls and negativity will take us anywhere.
Have you heard about the name change of the airports? I mean, somebody who doesn't only reflect in the music industry, but when it comes to national issues or things that affects us as Ghanaians, you really show interest in. Are you for the Accra International Airport or you are for Kotoka International Airport?
It used to be called Accra International Airport anyway. That's why when you're going to fly, you see the ACC. So that has been before. So when the name goes back to Accra International Airport, for whatever reason, I would believe that the reasons are clear, the reasons are politically accurate, the reasons are very nationalistic. I would believe so. But should this change and it doesn't reflect any upliftment, then I think I wouldn't side for that. But if it's going to reflect upliftment and uplift a positive narrative about this nation, I'm for that. Yes. Kotoka, actually, we all know, Kotoka is actually from my hometown. Right? I'm from Alakple. Anybody who knows the right history knows that General Kotoka comes from Alakple, my actual hometown. And the history will tell us how he participated in the coup d'etat that would have dethroned, Kwame Nkrumah. So that is the narrative that has been tagged around him for the name change of the airport. So there's a school of thought that insists that he does not represent a good statue for the state. I think that is the reason. I do not want to dig into it too much because I don't believe that one human being can be so evil all his life. There must be some good aspects. So for the fact that he got to be named after the airport, maybe because of his good parts. You know what I'm saying? So if it has to be changed, then let it be changed for another good reason.
So finally, well, we've entered 2026. Looks like you have a hit song already. What should we expect from you this year?
We are praying and giving thanks to the Most High. On the 5th of March, which is my birthday, I go right back home to my hometown, home region, the capital Ho, the Volta region, and we are staging at the youth sports stadium. It's called YRC, no? Yeah. The stadium was YRC, YRC Stadium, Youth Resource Stadium, inside Ho. We're going to put up a huge event. For me, it's a torture experience that is going to run the whole nation. So to kickstart that, I invite everybody to come out. So that's next for me within the year, and it's my birthday. So come out, show me love. Silent Samurai, thank you guys for showing a lot of love for that music. And I know it's because it's inspirational. It hits hard. It wakes your spirit up to keep pushing. So you don't know. One love. Bim, bim.
So with this, will you say it is a direct or indirect response? Well, if you ask me, both. But a lot of people are saying, look, Stonebwoy was the first who dropped Silent Samurai, where he dissed Shatta, they believe. So he should stop whatsoever he's doing and enter the booth if he thinks he's lyrically fit. But to others, most especially Bim fans, look, Stonebwoy saying this has sealed the issue. They are focused and they are ready to take the world by surprise. And also, this is the direct or indirect response as Stonebwoy Ede Abba, depending on where you stand. Well, as I repeated earlier, I am not a hypocrite. I said it how I understood. Also, how did you understand the response Stonebwoy brought? Among other contributions he gave on the Africa Prosperity Dialogue. Kindly let us know under the comment section. And of Vimbas TV, so and please like, share, and subscribe. Also leave a comment under this post. Yeah, that's CP.
Vimbas TV.